Okay, so I've just unboxed my brand new Rupes cordless 15, HLR15 or E or whatever it's up to at the moment. But before I do that, I've got to do sort of like a probably a medium sort of correction on this Fairlane today. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go while that's charging. I'll probably just start with my usual my sort of base method that I use when we're trying to get at these sort of defects. You'll see it's not really bad. It's probably on the medium to yeah, probably medium, I'd say, in terms of damage wise, I suppose, in terms of the scratches and that. So it's definitely not going to come out with just a media pad or something easy. So it's going to need a bit of correction. So I'm going to I'll use a new pad. This is what I normally use is the Rupes. These are obviously the older ones, I suppose. I don't know if they're still going to make these ones, but that's what we normally use. I'll use just obviously this thing's seen better days, and hence why I've bought the cordless. And the whole reason is maybe for this video as well, and for going forward, is to see if that machine can actually do what this machine can do. So you've probably seen a lot of videos of unboxing and all that, maybe a couple of them using it, but yeah, I'm still in two minds whether that machine is actually going to take over a cordless machine. I've obviously I thought that might be the case when I bought the Flex, and now speaking to some people on the weekend, they said, yeah, the Flex is not really made for cutting, that's why we've got the forced rotation for it, but that machine was very awkward to use, and yeah, doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, yeah, I'm hoping that that's going to take place of this, and I can get rid of these cords, and maybe just we'll probably need to rebuild this one at some stage because it's seen better days. So yeah. For this one we're going to use, I'll start with the Sonax. I'll probably just use this one across, the perfect finish. We'll see how that goes. I've been away from Melbourne for a couple of weeks, so I've been sort of sitting around. I'm just going to do the star method for this to get us started. We might work left to right. Alright, that looks... Yeah, so that's come out pretty good, like first off the bat, which is always a that pad cuts good, finishes good. This paint looks like it's a bit hard, doesn't look like there's any hazing at all. And there's probably a few deeper ones here, but that's because we've probably had less pressure on that outer area, but overall, that's achieved exactly what I wanted. So now the test is whether that new machine can do the same, and can it do the same all day. We'll try the other pads too to see how they go. Okay, so battery's charged. One thing I've sort of just noticed is this trigger is very, like you can't. You got to press. Maybe, I don't know if it's just because it's new and needs some wearing in, or anyone has any thoughts on that, let me know, because it just doesn't flow, like you can't just, you got to press. So yeah, it's quite annoying. Maybe we'll get used to that. So we'll crank out these new ones. So you can see they've lost that bevel, so I'm not sure if this is, definitely looks different. So we'll try this one. We'll try this one with the same compound that I normally use. Now we'll get into compounds, priming pads. I'm not into all that sort of stuff. This is how I do it. If you've got any questions on that, we can address that later, but we'll just, for the sake of this, we'll do everything the same. So I've had to put it on 5 to just give it the same sort of rotation as I did on the cordless one there. Okay, so I just put it to 6 at the end there, just to sort of see, you know, where it's at in terms of, yeah, just to sort of see if I can get it to feel the same speed as that one. And that's sort of like what I did with the flex as well, like you needed to crank it up. But this has definitely got, this definitely feels like it's got more torque than the flex does. You can tell that it's there. You can probably get away with doing, you know, keep it on speed around 4 or 5, which is what I normally do on that one too. With this sort of pad when I'm cutting. I don't know what other people sort of do, but that's sort of where I'm at with the cordless, and you can probably get away just. I feel like I just had to go to that 5. If not, you know, the 6, there's a little bit more in it if you need it, so to speak. So, you know, you can go to that 4 to 5 speed, but again, we're using a different pad sort of to that, so I don't know if this one's, you know, sort of a bit more, causing a bit more resistance as well. So what I might do is instead of trying the new pad and the new compound, I might put the pad we used here on here and use it there, and just see how that sort of moves around in comparison. So, because for me the comparison is not necessarily what the new pads and compounds do, it's whether it can replace the cordless machine. And the only way to do that is to use the same pad and compound that you use all the time, and then, you know, if it does the job, it does the job. So I'm going to go back to the original one. It's definitely, I mean, it's finished it. It's pretty much the same. There's a couple in here, but they could be just a bit deeper than what was over this side. So again, we'll go back to the Sonax, and in this case, we're just going to do 4 spots. Let's see how this goes. peg it back a bit to start. I'm still obviously, you know, this is, I've used the flex a bit, but I'm still getting used to obviously the battery, so I'm still sort of holding it here, which is, I'm assuming that's where you know, you could probably hold it from the battery. And I've always got sort of a medium pressure, and you probably notice I don't always have my hands, I sort of just, yeah, I gauge my pressure but more just by my fingers more than my palm of my hand. That's 4.5 there. Five. So what I'll do here is I'll put a bit of pressure on there just to see how we go. That's on speed 5. So it's pretty good, still going. Yeah, so that definitely felt a bit better than that. So I don't know whether it's the pad thing that felt, there's definitely different fibres in that pad. It just feels like there's a bit more resistance when we're doing that one. This one felt a lot more like our first pass over here with the corded machine, which is good. Similar sort of correction. So yeah. So first things first, yeah, I think that's one thing for certain. This is definitely better than the flex in terms of cordless, and I mean the flex free spinning, not the flex force rotation. This is definitely, you know, leaps and bounds of better than that. So I think with, you know, it's not. People are saying that you know, that this is on par with this. Yeah, it's a tough call. I think it's very close, but it's very close. The next test is to, I think while I've got some curves here, we'll throw it in, and even though we normally do this with a small machine, I might just gently go in there, or maybe go up to this center line of this bonnet and just get it close to some curves and just see how it goes, you know, how it goes there. But I think it'll be fine. You just might need to crank the speed up a bit more. And the next thing will be like, how long can it maintain that sort of cut, that battery life and that. So we'll keep going with this one because I'll keep going on this car, and then yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm not sure I started on like, I'm on 5.5 here, see what happens. I'm not liking this trigger. Doesn't seem to bog when I get close to that center line. Yes, that was pretty good. It didn't, I mean, it's only a small little concave area there, but it didn't really falter any more than what the corded one would. I still think I prefer the older pads for the moment. We'll give the other ones another crack. I understand, like, you know, these these ones here, if you give them a bit of a hiding, you know, you can, they tend to tear away here. Hence why they're probably gone to that sort of pad, but I still think this pad's a nicer pad. But we'll keep testing them and see how we go. But this, guys, was more just to show you about, again, if you saw my flex video, I'll put a link down the bottom. I bought that, you know, based on reviews I was actually watching on YouTube saying that, you know that was sort of the better one, but obviously I didn't look hard enough because the flex guy yesterday was telling me that, yeah, that's not really it's not really for cutting, that's why we've got the rotation one, so okay. But yeah, I wanted to replace the corded machines in the shop. And I probably wouldn't have, I've got so many machines, I'm only one guy, but I probably wouldn't have bought this, but my machine is literally needs probably a rebuild. So I thought it was just good timing, and I was just praying that this would do the job. And I think just from what I've just shown you, it's pretty close. I wouldn't say it's bang on, you know, full replacement, but it's pretty close. And I think even if it's not exactly, the benefit of not having the frigging cord on it is pleasing for me. So we'll see if I can show you a few more things over this car, but yeah, we'll keep going. Alright, so I've probably covered about a third of this big fairlane so far, and in between what I've done is I've tried the new pads with the new compound, and I just find it doesn't spin as nice as I'd like compared to the older pad and the Sonax compound. I've never really used the Rupes compounds, to be honest with you, so I'm not sure if that is a trend from what they've always been. But anyway, I'm not, there's no flow there with me. And if anything, it feels like it's really resisting, especially with the cordless polisher. So what I've done is I did find, obviously changing batteries over, I got stuck a bit where I had to have, one wasn't fully charged enough to jump back on, so I had to grab the corded one. So I have a feeling that battery wasn't fully charged, so what I'm gonna do now is I've just ran this battery into the ground. It's just flashing there, and it flashes on here, obviously. I don't know if I will do it now, but let's have a look. Yeah, it just flashes, basically it's dead, right? So I know that the battery on charge is full, this one's dead, so now I'm going to see if I can just put this one on charge, put that one on, run that one into the ground, and then see if this one's ready for me, so I don't have to wait at all. So, but other than that, the machine is performing well. I still think you got to run it on pretty much 6 to be equivalent to the corded one. And when the battery starts dying, you can see it's not perform. Obviously, it's not going to perform the same, but yeah. So you got to. There is a taper there. It's not like a dead. It runs the same from when it's fully charged to when it's towards the end. There is a taper off in performance. So we'll swap these batteries over, and then we'll see how that longevity goes, and simply don't lose any runtime. It's not that we need to achieve that today, it's just we'll just test that battery to see how we go. But in terms of the machine is doing great, but like I said, yeah, you're still running it on I'm running it on 6, whereas the corded I probably run it on about a 4 or 4.5. So we'll try this and we'll see how we go. So it is now, I started polishing about 1:30, 1:32, it is 2:20. I've done quite a fair bit of the car, just just my standard, nothing nothing over the top. Got fair way down to the side of the car. The polisher has just gone on me, so it's flat there. So now we'll go and see. So that's about what did I say, around 50 minutes. You know, in between I was cleaning pads, you know, wiping down, so it's not just I just went, you know, straight and just, you know, waited till the battery go. But just my standard procedure, probably no different, give or take, you know, a few seconds from anyone else, whatever anyone else does. So, yeah, probably an average. So we'll go now and we'll check the battery and we'll see if that one's ready to go. So let me change it over. Let's have a look. Go here. Alright. So we are not in luck. So as you can see, old mate still ain't ready. So, and obviously we put that on at 132 and it's still not fully charged. So I've seen a few videos on what the claim time is, but I thought it was about 45 minutes. So yeah, there's a that's a real-time sort of test, I suppose, on this new machine. And you know, in conclusion, I think the machine is very good. It is good. I'm probably going to find that I will be using it. This is you know, obviously a bit of a grey area. I can probably use my Mini in between spots and give that battery a bit more time to charge. So, you know, if you're asking, is this machine, because from what I get understood is, it's the same as a cordless, and it's not the same. And I guess they'll never be the same. Like, to be honest, one's corded and one's battery. But this is probably very close. Now, I can't comment on any other cordless machine other than the Flex one that I have. But this is very close to, this is I guess what I expected from the Flex when I bought it, and this is very close, you know, pretty close to the corded machine. So it is a more expensive machine, so you'd have to weigh up, you know, what you are going to use it for. If the cord doesn't bother you, then I will still stick to probably a corded machine, because I think efficiency wise it's probably a little bit more efficient, other than the bushes going on those machines. I don't know what sort of maintenance this machine's going to need. It's going to probably need batteries at some point. My little Flex PX-E80 needed batteries because they started to sort of, you know, not last as long. So, you know, you've got to weigh up whether you want the cords lying around, whether you want the efficiency. But for this review, for me was all about how close is this machine to the corded, and in conclusion, I think it's pretty close and it's a good machine. I don't know any Rupes people, like distributors or anything like that. Like, I'm not, you know, it's just, you know, I bit the bullet and bought one, and I thought, I know a lot of people wanted to see the review on the Flex, and I know a lot of people want to see the review on this one, so I thought I'd just take it upon myself to, while I had the opportunity to, you know, yeah, just give it some real-time sort of work, and let you all see it firsthand. So, and you can make your minds up from then. If you have any questions, just drop them down in the comments. If you want to see anything else that you want to put on that machine to, you know, future, you know, we'll probably try and go through their pads at some point. I did say that earlier, that that pad, not a fan of it. I might try it on different paintwork, because everything's different. Like the car I'm using today, this paint is quite hard, because we were actually finishing it down quite nicely, you know, on a compound that's actually quite harder, and a pad that's supposed to be a lot coarser, and the finish is pretty decent. So, you know, we have to, you know, every car is different, so, you know, it's hard to draw a conclusion on, you know, the compounds and pads and all that. But again, it was all about the machine, so I hope you like this one, guys. Please share it around, you know, let your other detailer mates or your DIY guys know, and stay tuned, and we'll bring you some more content like this in the future. Thanks, guys.